Hey, and welcome to Goldeneye's Silo. Now, the interesting thing about this level is that it very much has the DNA of what Goldeneye was originally meant to be. So for those who don't know, originally Goldeneye was meant to be an on-rails shooter. And in a lot of Goldeneye's levels, you don't really get that vibe because the levels are kind of open and you can approach them any way you want. This one, however, feels very much like an on-rails shooter because you are pretty much forced to go in one direction. You can't deviate from that direction, and while these little rooms here are a bit more random, unfortunately we are not able to kind of do much exploration in this one. So what we just did there, we took the keycard off the scientist. Every one of these rooms has a scientist with a keycard. You want to grab that. We also wanted to grab the circuit boards because they actually count towards the mission objectives. So you'll notice at the bottom there is actually a timer, and we actually need to keep an eye on that because it's very easy in this level to find yourself rushing towards the end if that timer starts ticking down too quickly. Now what I like to do here, I like to wake the guards up and then, I like to blow the barrels up as they're sort of running around the corner there. So you can kind of see someone's just thrown a grenade, which is helpful because that'll kill all the guards who might potentially want to come around the corner here. So we're going to head into this room here. There are some guards who are waiting to ambush us, and the thing about this room as well is some guards from the next area will come running in because they'll hear the shooting, so we don't actually need the key card for this particular section. What is interesting is that we have to put this plastique down, which is basically just C4. Now, the reason I say it's interesting is because this place is going to blow in 6.5 minutes, and yet for some reason we have to kind of go around and make sure they will definitely blow up. Excuse me. On this level in particular, I do like to take my time when entering these areas here. When I did my no damage run of this level, it was an absolute nightmare because you get guards like that who come bulleting around the corners and they'll come running in from future areas, which can be very frustrating. So you can see there's quite a lot of guards there at the end of the other side of this bridge. We're just kind of making sure we don't take too much damage. Also just checking there's no one behind me here because on 00 agent difficulty you can lose a lot of health very quickly if you let too many guards ambush you. Take care of you. I'm amazed that these guards are not running for their lives. They have like 6 minutes to get out of here, and they all seem pretty content to let it all end in here. But not you. Is it you? There you go. So we get the DAT from in here as well, the data cassette tape. That's one of the objectives you need to get on 00 agent difficulty. So far, we've not had any real issues to deal with on this level, but things are about to get a bit spicier because this next section is pretty nasty on 00 agent difficulty. There's a bit of a choke point when we try to go into the next section. It is kind of worth noting that this level actually doesn't feature in the movie at all, so this is a complete construct for the game, and it's interesting that they went in this direction. So this is the part that when I was doing my no damage run of this level really gave me nightmares, because as you can see there's a bunch of enemies at the top there, there's a bunch of enemies behind the crates here, and almost always as soon as I open that door someone would take a lucky shot, and I had to learn to dive behind these boxes so aggressively. But as we make our way through here, it's important to remember that in a second we're going to see Oromov for the first time. Now, Oromov is unkillable unless you have the golden gun, in which case he'll drop his briefcase and you can actually open up one of the silo roofs downstairs if you want to go back there. We obviously are not going to be doing that, but what we will be doing here, we will be photographing that satellite, what I assume is going to become the Goldeneye satellite. So we're going to throw the final plastique down here, and that's that complete. We just really need to finish the level here. Again, when I was doing my no damage run, this was another section that was a nightmare because Oromov just stands there and shoots at the door, and if you don't time your run correctly, he will just shoot you blindly, and there's no real way to stop him because even shooting at him from down here, as you see there, doesn't stop him. You have to literally charge him, which is not a good idea because there's a bunch of guards here who are not afraid to charge you. Now, you are probably wondering to yourselves, what's through all those other doors? Let me tell you, this level has nothing going on outside of the beaten path here. It is not really worth exploring those other rooms because unless you're playing on Agent and Secret Agent, sometimes you'll find body armor out there, but it's really not worth it on 00 Agent difficulty. We should be okay here to get to the end of the level. That guard there of all the computers. So we have got 2 minutes left, which is actually pretty quick, to be honest, on 00 Agent difficulty. And as you can see, Bond is very casually just looking to get out of here before things go off with a boom. And kaboom goes everything. Like I said, it seems a bit pointless that we use the C4 there, but we did do that in 6 minutes 20, which is really not that bad. Now, if you want to get the cheat for this one, you actually only need to do it on Agent difficulty. And on Agent difficulty, this level is super easy to just kind of leg it through. I prefer not to sort of hang around. Once you've got hold of that, we can just sort of leave. The main thing on this one is not killing the scientists, because the guards can sometimes be idiots and throw grenades, or they can sort of shoot the scientists, which is not helpful. But the main objective here, I think it's 3 minutes, the target in this one. You really just want to make sure you're not hanging around too long in these rooms, because the only objective you need to grab, I was trying to grab that body armor, but I don't think I've actually grabbed it. The only thing you need to do in this one is photograph the satellite and not kill scientists, which are two things we can do very easily by running fast. If we grab that body armor, we wouldn't even have a problem here. But you can see how many guards are here trying to stop us. So you can see, because the guards have run through there, we can just run up here. We don't even have to wait for the scientists to drop the key card. You can get unlucky sometimes. These scientists can sometimes run off without dropping the key card, and you can actually get stuck in those rooms if the guards choose not to come and help you out. Excuse me. There we go. So yeah, apparently because I didn't pick up a key card earlier in the level, that door was actually locked, which I didn't know it did, and we almost lost the run to that, but you know, hey ho. So with Oromov here, I'm just going to leg it into him. If you have the golden gun, you can shoot him and kill him, so that's the only way you can really end Oromov here. But we're pretty much done here. I think we've done a good job of finishing this one. So I think we've done that in 1 minute 57, that's plenty of time, to be honest. So I'm going to be completely honest with you, I do not really like Silo as a level. I think it is too linear, and unlike Train, which kind of has a nice atmosphere about it, I think this one's a bit weaker, to be honest. This one really does kind of have the bones of what Goldeneye used to be before it became the game we know it is. And I think that the end result of that is a gameplay experience that's very on rails and kind of lacks any real drama. The countdown timer on the higher difficulties is fine, but as you saw on the Agent difficulty, you don't have to worry about that. For me personally, like, I always try to get through this one as quickly as possible. It's just a pit stop to better things, in my opinion, and I don't think the mission objectives are really that imaginative. There's nothing here that makes you really want to go and explore the level, and if you do go and explore the level, there's not much to see anyway, so it's one of those things where you just kind of want to play through it as quickly as possible. But do you actually like Silo? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments, and thank you very much for watching.